He wants you to succeed. Have faith of a mustard seed. Get up on your feet. Rise up.
Welcome to the Drexel SEMA Show. On December 1st, the world will celebrate World AIDS Day. And I thought it would be fitting to interview someone who was diagnosed with HIV. And you know, I think it's important for us to educate the public, educate myself, because there's so much stigma associated with HIV and AIDS. And what a better way to alleviate that stigma is to educate you through interviewing people who have it. And I'm so glad that that this guest is not shy away, that she agreed to come on my show. As soon as I asked her, she didn't hesitate. And I'm grateful for that, because a lot of people don't want to talk about it. And with that said, I want to welcome Ms. Claudette Rigby to the Drexel SEMA Show, and I'll ask her to introduce herself to you. Welcome to the show, Ms. Claudette.
Thank you for having me. My name is Cynthia Claudette Rigby.
Okay. A lot of people, I know there's a lot of common thing in Turks and Caicos. A lot of people are called by their middle name, and you would think that's their first name.
Trust me. I prefer Claudette though.
You prefer Claudette? Okay.
Certain people, they go Cynthia.
All right, well, Claudette, thanks again for being on the show. Claudette, tell us a little bit about the situation. I know you've been diagnosed with HIV. How long have you had it, and tell us about your journey?
Well, I've been diagnosed with HIV for over 20 years.
Oh.
Since 2000. Yeah, since 2000.
It's 24, okay.
And the journey, it was up and down. At certain points, most people really thought I wasn't going to make it, because I was in and out of the hospital a lot. At one time, my doctor, he even told my mom, get the family together. That was it. But when they came, I'm like, what are you guys doing here? So that's me. I'm a fighter.
Yes.
I really don't let nothing get me down.
Right. And how did you find out that you were HIV positive?
It's been so long now that I really don't even remember.
Oh, okay.
Really don't remember.
Okay.
I think it was the HIV department going about at the time, asking to do a random
Testing.
HIV testing, and I found out. I think that was it.
Oh, okay. And what is the difference between being HIV positive and having? What's the difference between HIV and AIDS? What's the difference?
Having HIV, that means you only have the virus. It's only the virus. AIDS, that's full blown.
I see. Okay. And then you've had it you've had the virus now for 24 years. So there's a lot of medication you take to what?
When I first started, it used to be 2 pills twice a day. Then I was, how do they put it? My viral load was very good, so they dropped it down to 1 pill a day. So right now I'm taking 1 pill every day.
That is amazing. That's really amazing. Now, of course, you've had it for more than 20 years, and of course, you probably did a lot of research. For people watching the show, based on your your research, based on your experience, what are the different ways in which people can contract the virus? I know before they would say it's just sexually transmitted, but I think it's more than that now, right?
It's basically, to be honest, I really don't remember, but one of the reasons for sure, blood, infected blood. So you
Okay.
have to be extra careful. If someone who's HIV positive gets a cut and you tend to them without using gloves or anything like that, you can possibly get it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
But
And of course, through sexual
sexual transmission,
right.
yes.
And then I remember reading a story too about this dentist. I can't remember exactly what happened, but a patient of his contracted the virus through a dentist. I don't know when he was extracting her teeth. I'm not sure the whole story, but I remember reading something about that as well. Yeah.
It's probably using unsanitary, how do you put it?
Unsanitary.
Unsanitary.
Yeah. So what, I know there's a lot of negative stigma associated with the HIV virus. What keeps you what keeps you in a great spirit, knowing that you are HIV positive? What keeps you in that?
Number one, nothing gets me down. I refuse to let anything get me down.
Absolutely.
To me, because I have HIV, many people consider it a death sentence up to this day. To me, it's just a disease like any other. So I don't let it bother me. I just take care of myself, make sure that my surroundings, the surroundings around me, clean. I'm protected so I won't infect anyone else.
I like that attitude, and I think that's very important. I like what you say. It's just like having other people have other diseases, and it so happens that you are HIV positive, and you don't let it keep you down. I mean, you said earlier the doctor had given you a certain limit on how long you will live, and here you are, 24 years later, very much alive, telling your story and sharing with others about HIV, and I think that in itself is an excellent testimony for all of us.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, do you find that you're discriminated against because people know that you're HIV positive?
At one time, when I guess it was they were just learning about it, anyone with HIV, to them, you had to be careful. You couldn't drink out of the same cup. You couldn't use the same utensil. A bunch of
Myths?
big time, bunch of foolishness. All you have to do is just take care of yourself. And me, I'm the type of person who don't believe in letting nothing and no one bother me.
I think that's the right mindset to have. That's because I believe sometimes the people let people who bother them, they worry themselves to death. It's not actually disease that kill them. It's they're worrying.
That's exactly what killed a lot of them. Because as soon as they have it, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. If you have that attitude, of course you're gonna die. This, to me, is a disease just like any other. All you have to do, take care of yourself, take care of everyone else around you, and you're good to go.
I mean, what advice would you give to a lot of these young people, not only young people, I mean, people in general who are having so much unprotected sex? Because a lot of people are having babies. And I remember in the 80s, I think I was in high school, that's when I first heard about HIV and AIDS. And it was a scary moment for the country. Everybody was scared, like you say, even touching somebody. And now it doesn't seem like people even checking about contracting the virus, but it could be avoided. I mean, what advice would you give to people?
The advice I would give to anyone, take care of yourself. Don't just jump and have unprotected sex. Protect yourself no matter what. I don't know.
Yeah.
The mentality of some people, it's just a little, I don't know how to put this word, but it's crazy.
Yeah. A lot of people just want to have fun, and they don't care about
Exactly.
expense. And then after they contract diseases, because there are other sexually transmitted diseases. HIV is just one of them. There are a lot of many other sexually. And it's important, if you could avoid, getting a sexually transmitted disease, and the best way to avoid getting a sexually transmitted disease, of course, is not to have sex at all. But of course, we know people are having sex. And so the best way to do is to have protection. Protect yourself. Not just I'm not talking about taking birth control. Birth control pills will protect you from having a child. You won't have a baby, but it will not stop you from getting the virus. So make sure the man in your life is using a condom to protect yourself. And honestly, what I think people should do, if you're in a serious relationship with someone, I feel that I know we want to trust one another. I feel like you should get tested. Like before you commit yourself, you give yourself to someone, and get tested, because some people don't want to use a condom. Some people just want to have free sex. When I say free, I mean unprotected sex. And so the best thing to do is to test yourself. You and your partner test yourself, and you be committed to that one partner if you find out that you are not HIV. And for those people who are, I just want to say this out there as well. There are some people out there who know that they're HIV positive, and they are continuing to have unprotected sex. Because the attitude that some people have is that, Claudette, some people have this attitude, well, someone give it to me, so I'm going to give it to somebody else. And that is so wrong. That is so wrong.
Very wrong.
Yeah. So what do you do now? Are you working?
No, I retired in 2019 after being with my employer, Hugh O'Neill, for how long?
Quite a long time, right?
2004 to about over 13 years.
Oh, okay. I remember when I used to go by Mr. O'Neill's office, you were there. Are there any symptoms if you are HIV positive? There are certain things that people will know if they have it through the type of symptoms. Do you know?
One main symptom that I found out, I was constantly losing weight.
Ah.
I was dropping the pounds, and I'm like, what's going on? I'm not on a diet. I'm not doing anything different, but the pounds were just going. At one point, I was down to wearing a size 4, considering my regular size at the time was 10.
Oh, wow.
So
that's a big reduction.
Big reduction. That's one of the main things. Other people, I think some of them say they get sick all the time. They're quick to catch the cold, but I don't know.
Yeah, I guess the immune system, become weakened, and so you probably you're able to contract.
Yes, the immune system drops, so you're quick to catch colds, fevers, whatever.
Body is very sensitive.
Yes.
Okay. I know you. So you're down to. You say you're down to one
pill a day.
One pill a day. But I guess because of your condition, I think you are in a stable state. But there are other people, I guess, they have to take more than one, and depending on their.
It depends on the amount of virus in their system. Some people are taking 2 to 3 times a day, a cocktail of 2 or 3 pills. Me, thank God, lucky enough to only have to take 1 a day now.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people are afraid to talk about being HIV positive. I interviewed someone before, I think a couple of years ago, and I had to, hide his face because he didn't want the public to know who he was or who he is, and because he didn't want, be treated differently.
Crazy.
Why are you not afraid? Why are you not afraid to show your face and talk about it?
Me, I tell them straight off, well, I've got it. Gotta live with it. That's my motto. I refuse to let anything get me down. So, HIV, it's nothing. Just another disease. All you have to do, take care of yourself. And a lot of people, they have this notion that as soon as they contract HIV, that's their death sentence.
Yeah.
That's it. No.
Yeah.
I did a commercial at one time where I told them straight off, to me, it's a disease just like any other. So that's the way I live.
Yeah.
I have my family and friends. They know because I never hide nothing. I just take care of myself.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate, your frankness. I appreciate you opening up and sharing your story. And I think it's important, for people to hear other people's story. I also think it's important that this will give them hope. Because you're living your life. You're living a normal life. 24 years. I remember people say after 10 years, once you get HIV, you may get full-blown AIDS and then you die soon. But you, 24 years. 24 years.
24.
Yeah.
I've been diagnosed as well with diabetes.
Oh.
And that's almost, 17 years.
Oh, wow.
And a couple of years ago, about 2 years, I think it was, I did treatment for cervical cancer, stage 3.
Oh, wow.
So I'm now cancer-free.
Praise the Lord.
Worked that good.
What about the diabetes?
Diabetes.
Still diabetic?
It goes up and down.
Yeah.
Sometimes it goes as low as 42. When it's that low, I quickly grab something sweet to bring it up.
What's it supposed to be?
According to my nurse, the normal range is supposed to be at least 100.
Oh, okay, so you're less than half. Okay.
But once it goes down, you automatically try and bring it back up. Because it can cause you to go into a diabetic coma. If it's too low or if it's too high, you can become delirious and also pass away. But me, I'm borderline.
You're a strong lady.
Hey, nothing getting me down.
Do you have anything else you want to share with the viewers? Maybe something that we didn't discuss, or something else you want to share about the HIV disease, illness? I mean, is there something that you think the public should know?
The only thing I want to share everybody needs to go and get tested. Know your status, be safe. That's about it. Instead of hiding, you just need to go out, know your status, be safe, and take care of you and the people around you.
Yes, that's good advice. Thank you so much for being on the show.
You're quite welcome.
Yeah. I also want to say that there are many people, I believe, that are walking around here who are HIV positive and you do not know. You just kind of look at a person and look at someone and say, oh, they look good, he look good, she look good, or they don't have it. You just really can't tell who has HIV. Even though it's a disease, like Ms. Claudette said, but if you could avoid getting something, if you could avoid getting a disease, then you should do your best to avoid it. And so I encourage you to know your status by getting tested. December 1st, as I mentioned, beginning of the show, is World AIDS Day. Don't be a part of the step. Of course, if you already have it, there's nothing you do about it. You have to accept it and take your treatment. But if you don't have it, you could prevent yourself from getting it by being very protective and with continuous testing. Make sure you know your partner and be honest. Be honest with your partner. You have a life to live. Some people are not going to live as long as Claudette. Claudette has a different mindset. She has a different mentality. She's a survivor, but not everybody's going to live like Claudette. And so you could avoid this as well. And for those of you who have it, don't worry about it. Take your medication. And if you continue to have sex with someone, let them know that you're HIV positive. And use a condom. Let's not create forced illnesses on other people if you could avoid it. Let's not do it. And let's not discriminate against someone who is HIV positive. Some people have gotten this HIV positive innocently. They didn't know. They didn't know. They trusted their partner and their partner gave it to them. They didn't know. They got it through blood transfusion. They didn't know. So let's not discriminate against someone because they're HIV positive. And I just love how Claudette said it. It's just another disease, but let's not discriminate it. But this show really is to educate you and to bring awareness about HIV. Let's make a difference by controlling ourselves, by doing the right thing. And please, do get tested. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for watching the Drexel Seema Show.